Hi everyone, it's Gage Taylor from the Nocturnal. So we have everyone from Dr. Jerry Buss to Jerry West, Magic Johnson to Larry Bird, capturing what basketball was like in the late 70s and 80s. So you have Hollywood and the glitz and the glamour and these basketball stars coming in contact with that on their way to glory and becoming one of the top franchises in the NBA.
I'm John C. Reilly, and I play Dr. Jerry Buss, the owner of the LA Lakers.
And I'm Quincy Isaiah, and I play Irvin Magic Johnson Jr.
So your characters are so central to the Lakers dynasty even today. So what was it like, finding out you got these roles and becoming Jerry and becoming Magic?
Well, I got this role offered to me 7 days before the pilot was going to be shot. So I didn't have a lot of time to get myself into a place of comfort or confidence, but I knew that working with Adam McKay was going to be a good place for me, having done Talladega Nights and Step Brothers with him. And I actually also felt right away a real kinship towards the character. I felt like I could understand his optimism and his drive and his determination to show the world that he could do great things. I think Jerry and I have a lot in common in that way. I come from humble beginnings as well, and I don't think anyone who knew me when I was 10 years old and on the south side of Chicago would have predicted the path that my life took. So I could really relate to that. And once we got going, I had a long time to figure it out. So even though 7 days seems like short, that was just to get started. And then it was a lot more time after that playing the character.
Yeah, finding out I booked this role was top two moments in my life. I don't know what the second one is or the first one, but I'm like, it's up there, it's just about I just really finding out that the work that you put in and that the risk that you took paid off. It was incredible, and then to be playing who I'm playing on HBO with Adam McKay, John C. Reilly, Adrien Brody, Rob Morgan, Wood Harris. Like again, you know what I mean? So it's that is I'm still not over it, honestly. I pinch myself every day. But my connection to the character and being able to play Magic, he's from Michigan, and he's not from Detroit. He's from Lansing, Michigan, which is very different from Detroit. And Muskegon is much closer to Lansing than it is any other big city. So just being able to bring that that small town feel, I think, and then bringing it over into Los Angeles was really important. And it definitely helped me really figure out who this character is when you meet him, at 19, 20 years old. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And was there anything that you had to unlearn to play these characters, whether it was just, your mannerisms or whether it was just the way you shoot the ball?
Very much so. I would say I had to
the ball.
right. I had to deconstruct everything I knew about basketball. Because I stopped playing organized basketball when I was in sixth grade. So everything mechanic wise, that's where it kind of stopped. But I love playing basketball and I played all my life. So breaking down, Edon, my basketball coach, he broke down a lot of what I already did, and we had to start from scratch and just recreate one adequate basketball player, and then start trying to mold me to be Magic. And it was a process, but it was a fun one nonetheless. So, and rewarding, because now I get to go play at LA Fitness or whatever, and I can dominate a little bit, just a little bit, but Yeah.
I had to unlearn my humility because I'm not someone that wears my shirt open down to my navel ever. So that kind of like exuberant swagger that Jerry had, that supreme confidence, even when things were going really badly for him, the fact that he could just keep smiling and he almost like use that smile as a shield and a sword, but I definitely had to like allow myself to be a little more macho, a little more swagger, I guess would be the best way to describe it, When I would walk onto the set, I put those glasses on, that gold chain, the shirt, like it was like putting on the armor or something, it was like hiding the more modest part of myself.
You were swagging too.
So, of the cast, if you were playing 3-on-3, who would you want to be a part of your team?
Well, I'm on Udon. How do you pronounce his name?
Edon.
Edon,
Yeah.
sorry. Udon's a noodle.
Yeah.
No, Edon, because he was the one teaching all these guys all the tricks that they knew. I'll take him.
I'm taking Solomon because he's 7 feet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the big man.
Oh, we're going back and forth, like choosing teams. Okay, so you already got Solomon.
Right.
I would have taken him, but I can't have him. I would say Devon Nixon. I would take Devon because he's got some moves from his dad.
It's a good choice. I'm gonna take Adrien. I think Adrien might be a sleeper. I think he got a shot on him.
Interesting. My final choice is going to be Rodney Barnes, one of the screenwriters, because Rodney was trying to show one of the actors, like, no, you got to check him like this. You got to do like this, and he's like, let me show you. He gets out of blam. Like, Rodney's a very big guy, He's not in his basketball playing years anymore, but he still has got that strength.
I would love to see him and Solomon battle in the post. My last one I'm gonna take is Wood Harris. I see him hoop from back in the day, and recently too. But like, I think he'll give me some good strong minutes.
More exclusive interviews coming your way.
Hi, Jason Clark, and I'm playing Jerry West, the NBA's logo, and arguably the greatest Laker in history. Went on to be general manager, coach for a while, and now just thorn in the Lakers' side, I guess. They look at him like that.
Adrien Brody, I play Pat Reilly, who I think most of us know. And where this story takes place is a transitional period in his life where he was a former player, had a ring, he had a successful career as a ball player, and then he's trying to find his way back into the sport. And before he was a great coach that most of us know him as. And it's an amazing journey. I'm really excited to share that and for people to see that.
I'm Solomon Hughes, and I play Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, also arguably the greatest Laker basketball player of all time. I'll say that.
Okay.
Go for it. Come on.
Back it up. But yeah, we meet Kareem Abdul-Jabbar heading into one of the final, essentially the final chapter of his career. He's won on every single level, and he is on the cusp of experiencing a new owner, a new style of play, an injection of joy that's different than what he may have experienced before. So obviously, and then in addition to his basketball, he's contributed in so many other ways culturally in our society.
Pat Reilly, Jerry West, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. These names are iconic in basketball. What was it like stepping into their shoes and becoming them? So I'm going to start with Solomon because Kareem is my favorite player. So
okay. It was wow. I say it wasn't playing a mountain of a man. It was playing a mountain range of a man. I think he will go down as one of the most important Americans in our country's history, really, if you think about it, in just terms of just what he's contributed. And so, I as a kid, one of the first autobiographies that I read was Giant Steps by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, right up there with Malcolm X's autobiography. So he's somebody who has had a long time influence on my life. I grew up an hour outside of LA, and so the Lakers were the center of the sports universe for me, and Kareem was the center of that center. And so just knowing how much my life has been impacted by his model, just the way he's shown up in society, just the multi dimensions, et cetera. It was terrifying and fun and rewarding and challenging. It was just so many great things.
Adrien?
Well, I mean, it's the big shoes to fill, to step into the great Pat Reilly's shoes. He's such an iconic human being, and his place in the sport is like no other. I mean, he's had the career that Kareem has had as a ball player. Pat Reilly's just like been in that game, in the fray forever, and I admire him. And it's the beauty is that there's a lot of amazing information, as well as his own writings and many interviews, and there's a lot of material there for me to really get a sense of the man. And he's from New York State as well. He's born not too far from where I stay upstate, and it's very exciting. It's exciting.
You don't realize how lucky you are. I didn't. I'm an Australian, so I just didn't realize the impact of who this man is and what he's done. And I remember I was at a Rolling Stones concert here in LA, and somebody just yelled out, "Yo, Logo," because they knew I was playing Jerry West, and you realize that his impact and who the man is you're very lucky. I loved it. I loved playing Jerry. I really did. And
it's so fun to watch you. Yeah.
It was a really cool project. It was a really cool project full of really amazing people, all over the board. I've never seen a group of people brought together like this, with just such different energies and such different attack and fun and games and everything they offered. And it was an education.
So I know this show is a drama, but how did you have fun playing all these characters?
You kidding me? I thought it was a comedy. No, we had a ball. You had John C. Reilly, you had Adam McKay, you had Max. I read this in Byron Bay in the lockdown, all the scripts. I read the part, but I was out in Australia when we were all in the COVID, and this was just so funny. The blue terry toweling suits, the movies things, the scene at the Playboy Mansion. It was just all over the shop. The scene where Norm comes in and starts telling you, and you got the headphones on. It's just like, man, he's like, whoa, man. It was just, and Pat Riley. It was just Pat Riley's coming in there where what's his name's washing his hair, dyeing his hair. That's the brilliance of McKay and Max, and also of this world, that it's just through humor you come in closer. It's just the fire's warm, and you want to move in and know them a little bit more. Mm. And then, you put the context of what these people all did, particularly Kareem, what they all went through in their journeys as people. And you go, wow, there is serious. The 80s is a bit more than, fun music and buffy hair and shoulder pads.
So who is this show for? Is it for sports fans? Is it for, the average fan? Can a Celtics fan watch the show?
I don't know. The Celtics fan are they can watch it because they can definitely watch it, and they can revel in that rivalry, which was a big thing at that era. They were at each other's throats all the time. It was a massive rivalry. But I feel like as soon as I saw the pilot, I knew that this was a show that would speak to people well beyond basketball fans.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously fans will love this, and LA is going to love it, and Lakers fans will love this, of course. But
Lithuanians are going to love this. You know, they love their basketball and they're Greeks. You know, it's America's gift to the world, this game, in a way. It really is. Not just as sports, but as a community, through music and through movies and through, it's influenced so much. It is a great representation of America. It really is. And everything that America offers.
I feel like Celtics fans have to watch this, right? I mean, you think about the rivalry. It's like two boulders that are just polishing each other, right? I mean, part of the lore of the Celtics is the Lakers and vice versa. So they have to watch this.
Yeah, Red Auerbach's great. Larry's great as well. We have some great people playing them. You know, those guys. Kevin McHale's in there.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's a lot of characteristics here, of human characteristics that go well beyond the world of basketball that are extremely relatable, and I think, moving. It is comedic in tone at times, but they're all, you see the stakes that everyone has, and you see what they have to overcome to get to where they are as we know them. And it's also the birth of that Showtime era. It's basketball becoming basketball as we know it. It's the Lakers becoming the Lakers, and that's exciting. It's exciting even if you don't know enough about it to get reeled into that. I think it's really fun.
Be sure to check out our other interviews with the rest of the cast of Winning Time.
Thanks a lot, Cage.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gage.
See ya.
Woo-hoo.